G'day, I'm Patrick. Welcome to the workshop. Today I'm going to show you how to make this vertical drill press jig that will allow you to drill vertically. If you haven't made one of these, you're only getting about half the functionality out of your drill press. A vertical face jig for your drill press would allow you to align pieces onto that table that you can't otherwise hold safely and get more accurate holes in the end of pieces that you just can't do any other way. Most drill presses have a tilting table, so in theory, for certain things, you could just tilt the table to vertical. However, I would prefer to have a jig that I can just place on my flat table and then never have to mess with the flatness of that table, because that is slower and will mean more inaccuracy later on, potentially. Make sure you're building a jig for the actual table. So this is about 320 mil deep, so I'm gonna make it a little bit longer than that. When you rotate your table so that the spindle can be on the edge of it, in general, you end up being back here on the table instead of in the center, so make sure you allow for that too. At its simplest, all this jig is an L-shaped chunk of ply, one piece that sits on the plate of the drill press and one piece that hangs down. And the piece that hangs down, we can attach other jigs to or put a fence on in both directions, but essentially it's just a flat reference plate. The thing that's really critical is that those two pieces are in fact square and there's minimal flex in them. So it's fairly simple to just make yourself an L shape and you could just screw it together here. However, we need to make sure that there's no flex when we're using the drill press and putting a whole bunch of force on the vertical face. So we will need to put some sort of bracing in to make sure that this thing remains solid when it's in use. While the easiest way to fix this all together, and passable, would just be literally to screw it, because this is going to be used on the drill press and I might do a variety of applications with it. Sometimes I will even drill into this jig intentionally. I really don't want screws or any metal inside the jig. So, if possible, I think it's probably worth doweling, dominoing, or biscuiting this jig, which will be really nice and strong, even though it's slightly more time consuming, but it will mean that you have no risk of drilling some expensive Forstner bit into a screw or a nail. As much as I love doing things quickly, sometimes it's best to do things rapidly. As much as I love doing things quickly, sometimes it's best to take the time and do things properly, and you'll thank yourself later on if this is a jig you're going to be using for many years. So I put about 7 dominoes in this, which may feel like overkill, but it's only going to go into the sort of end of this ply by 15 mil. So it needs to be strong. A lot of force is going to be put on this and I want it to last a long time. Because I want to be able to keep working on this rapidly, I'm going to domino it, clamp it, and then put some screws in, which will hold that joint while I keep messing around with it. And that means that I can actually use this today, even though it's technically still being glued up, and I can remove the screws later on, which achieves the two things I wanted, which was keep working and don't have metal in this long term. Careful not to flood the holes when you're doing dominoes. There's not much room in there, and you don't want so much glue that the domino itself can't go in. Make sure you've removed any debris, any sawdust from inside of those holes too, because that'll just affect your fit. And once you are ready to put the dominoes in, you need to act rapidly. Dominoes form a really tight fitting joint in the mortise, and if you get it halfway in there and stop, the domino might not go the rest of the way. With the larger domino holes, a pencil does a really great job of this, but with these 6mm holes, a paddle pop stick works okay. You could also just use some really small piece of timber dowel, would work really nicely to get into the round corners. Okay, that all has glue on it. Okay, so this is my finished vertical drilling jig. All of the faces are flat, which means I can still use the top surface if I need to. I can use the vertical face with any shape of piece. I haven't attached any fences to that yet because it's designed to be multi-purpose. This bracing panel on the back means that this always remains vertical when this is clamped down. And these holes give me clamping options down the track because the bracing panel would have gotten in the way. This table can swivel to any position because the actual drill press table swivels. But because this only has a bracing panel on one side rather than both, I can also slide it in and out a little bit in this direction. And that's going to really help with micro adjustment when I'm setting this jig up. It's good to have as many options as possible so that you don't need to move your entire fence by 1mm. You can perhaps just move your jig. All right, let's have a quick chat about setting this thing up. There's a few more variables than there is with just doing standard drilling onto a flat surface. Alignment is a little trickier because you're working on this table which moves radially, which is a real pain for alignment. But nevertheless, we will persevere. Clamp this table down any way you can, as long as it is secure. If this was the kind of thing that you were using all the time, there's a world in which you could create some sort of bolting system, but probably not necessary. Whatever clamps fit. I love these little F clamps. They're just so handy for a million jobs, and this is one of them. That's why this hole is here. This plate is about the same size as the metal plate. This thing is very secure now. I still haven't tightened off this, so the whole thing still pivots. So now we just need to get it into position. First thing we're going to do is get the approximate height. Now, we can affect the height in smaller amounts by changing the height of our depth stop on the bottom, or the jig itself, but we want to make sure that the table is more or less where we want it. So figure out what bit you're going to use. In this case, I'm actually using a giant plug cutter. I want the plug cutter to sit about 30mm or 40mm off the work surface, which it is, and I also want to make sure that it can go down to the work surface, which this does. Once the height is okay, then we can get our alignment from left to right. Finding alignment with a plug cutter is near impossible because there's no center. So place something that has a center into the chuck. I can just use a little Forstner bit. You could use a brad point drill bit. You could use some other sort of centering pin, which had a sharp point. And this will help with alignment. We won't be doing any drilling with this, just using it for alignment. I have some stock that I'm going to actually try and drill, and I've marked the center point on that. So now we can move this tabletop until we get that horizontal alignment in the right position. At this stage, I'm just going to get it as close as I can, lock off the locking lever, and then I can use a little mallet to tap the jig a fraction one way or the other, and that will get me that last fraction of a millimeter. That's looking like I've got it right in the center, and now we can place the fence in position to make sure that I have a really easy stop to place my stock against. To get this fence into the right position, the first thing I'm going to do is just hold my work where it needs to be, more or less. I need more hands than this. Okay, it's about there. And I'm going to draw a little line where that is. I'm not going to draw that entire line because I don't know if this thing is sitting straight. But I have a line at the top there. Get your fence material. It can be whatever really, as long as it's something that has a nice flat edge. So I'm just using some more of this birch ply. I'm going to put a clamp up the top here, and then I can put a clamp down the bottom once I know my fence is perfectly vertical or in the same plane as my drill bit. I'm not screwing this on, I'm just going to clamp it. If this was a single purpose jig for you, then you could just screw it on or pin it on or glue it on. But I want this thing to be as general purpose as possible. Most of the time I make jigs that can be just used for one job, but this thing is large enough and simple enough that I think I'll use it over and over. Probably the easiest way to make sure that this is vertically aligned is just put a square along the top, because we know our top is flat to our table. Now that's working on the assumption that the steel table on your drill press is in fact 90 degrees to the direction that the drill is moving. If it is not, that is a deeper problem that you need to fix. And for the operation that I'm doing today, just squaring it off my table is fine. So once you've got the bottom edge of that jig square, you can clamp that off too. And then we recheck that our stock is still in the right position, that the centering pin of the Forstner bit is in the centering dot on our stock. Okay, I need to move my fence about 1 millimeter this way, so I'm just going to tap it gently with a hammer at the top and the bottom. I'm going to mark a line along the back side of the jig so that I know that it's staying parallel. And that's now hitting right in the center. So this is a point that you could screw it off if you need to. Make sure all of your clamps are tight, because from here on out we don't want this thing to move in this direction. The last thing we need to do is set a little block where this is going to sit on the jig so that all the force from the drill press is going into a solid stop. That might be one that's worth screwing so that there's no chance that a clamped stop block is going to move. Okay, and that is my vertical jig set up for drilling. A whole lot of chair legs. I'm going to be using a plug cutter to cut the tenons on the end of these legs. It's a simple way to put a rounded end on square stock, and it's going to be really rapid. But this jig is super useful if you need to bore a hole in the center of a vertical piece. That doesn't need to be a leg. It could be a flat panel, anything that needs to be run vertically on the drill press. This thing clamps on and off really easily. If you have a task that you repeat over and over, then you can make marks on the jig or even have reference holes where your fences sit. Or if you do it all the time, just dedicate one of these to that task. Leave the fences in place. You can see why I want to remove one of these screws, because I don't want that tenon cutter coming anywhere near it. So I'm going to just pop that one out. The rest of these have done their job. They've held this thing together while the glue is drying, which means the dominoes are really doing all of the holding. But having these screws in there meant that I could mess with it and set it all up while it was kind of still drying. Thanks a lot for watching today. I hope you got something out of it. There'll be some links down below to the products I've used, some of the clamps and other bits and pieces. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. And I'll see you next week.